Hey there, fellow classic comic collectors. As always, I'm Scott Harris King, and today, in my super bright environment here, I'm going to bring you on an epic journey to a mystical land known as Waltham, Massachusetts. Okay, it's not the most exciting city in the world. I'm sorry to all the people in Waltham. I do have friends there and they love it, but it's whatever. But what it does have is a world class comic book store called Outer Limits. So I'm going to Outer Limits today, and was tell you up front I was not able to record inside. I'll get into that when we get to the part where I show off all the cool comics I got there. Outer Limits is on Moody Street in Waltham, which is one of the main thoroughfares. That's like kind of where most of the stores are. A lot of cool restaurants and stuff. When I was there, they had part of the street shut down for like street fair sort of stuff. And Outer Limits is an old comic book store. It's been there a long time, and it's old school comic book store, just packed with stuff. So let me put it up here on the map. Here we are, store number 9 in our look at all the stores here in the Massachusetts area, and this is one of the best ones in the area. So lots of great stuff. Again, I wasn't able to record inside, but I did get a little outside. So let's cut to that, and then let's show off the amazing, amazing pile of stuff that I got at Outer Limits. Okay, Outer Limits, Waltham, Mass. I was not able, unfortunately, to film inside. I really wish I could. I'm so sorry. It's an old school comic book store. For those who have been around a long time, you remember what those stores are like. It's small physically, and it's jammed with stuff everywhere. It's not like overrun and dirty like a lot of the old stores used to be, but it's just packed with everything you can think of. So the aisles are a little bit narrow, and it was very busy. So the problem with filming in these situations is that there's all these other people in the store, and there's no way for me to film without getting them on camera, and a lot of them don't want to be on camera. It's one thing if I'm filming an empty store, but it's a different thing when there's other people that I have to worry about their consent. So there's no way for me to film inside, which is too bad, because this is, if you're an old school comic collector and you want to find some interesting books, you're about to see exactly what I'm talking about. This is the kind of place where by the register, most places you go up there and there's like free comic book day, or like, here's the latest, hot variant. You come up to this place, and at the register there is a box of Golden Age Westerns. Okay, that's the kind of place this is. It's got boxes for everything. This place had a box that was 2/3 of a long box that was ACG. There was 2/3 of a long box of treasure chest. Like, it's got everything, all the old school stuff, and it's got stuff in the bins that most places would have for sure on the wall. There's a crime section. I was going through there, and there was a Crime Does Not Pay 36 with a classic Biro cover where the guy's running down the street with his eye gouged out, bleeding everywhere. It's just in the bin. I don't collect that title. It's a little too much for me, but the prices are good as well. That was $90. It's just everything. I've had a ton of luck there finding stuff in the dollar bins, like some really top stuff in the dollar bins there some of the stuff has gone right into my permanent collection, other stuff that I've flipped and made quite a bit of money on. But I spent so much time looking through the regular bins here, I didn't even really have the energy left to go through the dollar bins. And you know how much I love the dollar bins, but I was really hitting everything hard. So let's take a look at what I ended up buying here. I've organized these a little bit because when we get to the end, there's going to be the Big Mac Daddy, the big find of the day. We're going to start, though, with something that I bought purely on spec, and it's Marvel Comics Presents #1. And this is a book that has suddenly, after 30 years of no one giving a flying crap about it, it's suddenly gotten really hot over the last 6 months. You may remember I just bought a copy of this at Omar's for $2. This one is a little bit nicer shape, and it was a little more expensive. It was $3.50, and it's got a price tag on it that makes me think this was priced 25 years ago. I don't know how it ended up in the box today, but for $3.50, had to buy it. So happy purchase for me. Now, I mentioned there's a whole box of ACG. There was actually 2 boxes of ACG. There was almost a full long box, but then there was another box of miscellaneous stuff that I think just hadn't been sorted yet, of all Golden Age, and it had Charltons and Dells and Gold Keys and ACGs, and I got Magic Agent number 3, and now I already have Magic Agent number 1, and this was $4.75. In the most recent issue of my comic, The Crime Busters, I used Magic Agent in a cameo. He's going to be appearing more later because his earlier appearances are actually in the public domain because the copyright laws changed in 1964. That's way more information than you needed. But the important part is just this cool, kind of obscure ACG series, $4.75. I went there with my buying shoes on. I want to support the local stores. This is a place I haven't been since before the pandemic. And so, there's a number of stores, as I've talked about in my previous videos, that I bought like gift certificates for. This was not one of them. So haven't spent any money at this place for over a year and a half, and I want to support them. So I went there specifically thinking, if I find stuff that I want, I'm buying it. I'm not going to worry too much about the price. I'm taking those pandemic stimulus checks and putting them back in the local economy by supporting the comic book stores. That's what I'm trying to do. And so I bought a bunch of stuff here, and I'm making a lot of headway on some series, as you'll see, beginning with Life with Archie, number 36. Life with Archie, number 37. Life with Archie, number 47. Now, this is not my favorite era of Life with Archie here. Once you get past number 40, there's a lot of the parody stuff, Pure Heart, the Powerful, and the Man from Riverdale. I'm not a big fan of those. Here is number 53. Sorry for the glare. And number 56. Again, a Man from Riverdale. So these have been lingering on my checklist for quite a while, specifically because I did not want to pay the money for these issues because I'm just not a huge fan of these specific issues. But I'm really not missing that much from this run at this point. I'm not quite to quest territory yet. I don't want to hit the quest button until I get to 10 or less. But I'm getting close. I'm down to like 25. That series ran for 286 issues. So I'm doing really well with that one. And I was excited to get these just off my checklist, even though they're not my favorites. But speaking of quests, and speaking of checklists, you may remember in my last haul video, I got Conan the Barbarian number 8, and I got Conan the Barbarian number 11, and I was left with just these. So here's my Conan checklist, and guess what? Quest completed. That's right. I completed my entire run, all 275 issues of Conan the Barbarian, because they had all the ones that I was missing, and I bought them all. All Barry Windsor Smith classics. Conan the Barbarian number 9. Double-sized Conan the Barbarian number 10. Conan the Barbarian number 12. Looks like a Gil Kane cover. Black frame cover. Into the frame eras. 20 cents now. Conan the Barbarian number 13. Number 18. Number 21. With a great black frame Barry Smith cover. This is the one that has the blurb that says, winner of the comic book industry's own Academy Award for Best Comic Mag. And finally, the last one I needed, number 22, with an amazing Barry Windsor Smith cover. Interior is a reprint. This was the cover that was supposed to be on issue 23, or rather, it's the other way around. The interior 23, with the first appearance of Red Sonja, was supposed to have this cover on it. But there was a deadline crunch. He didn't finish that issue in time, so they did a reprint and used the cover for this. So there it is. Complete run of Conan the Barbarian. Quest complete. Still missing those 2 Archies. That quest I started a long time ago. Got the whole run of Conan in the meantime while I'm trying to get those issues of Archie. But we did it. Quest complete. And at some point now I get to actually read them. I haven't actually read this series. I have read issues 1 to 13 because I have those in trades already. So I've read that. And I've read sporadic issues because my first issue of Conan was like 166 off the stands. But there's a huge run here that I've never read, and I've never read them in order. So I'm going to read those at some point. And then I'll be doing my complete run madness and showing off the complete run of Conan the Barbarian. You can mark that down. I don't know when that'll be, but that's coming now that I've finished this. So, pretty exciting, right? But wait. One of the reasons I love this store is they actually have a pretty robust romance section. And last time I was there, I thought I had cleaned it out. But either I hadn't, or in the last year and a half, they got in some new stuff. Because here comes a whole pile of cool romance books. Charlton, It's Time for Love 37. Classic Art Capello cover. Thick lines. Bold thick lines. Bold colors. But also he loves having his women in this pose. I have several of his covers where he has the female figure posed like that. Much older Charlton, and if there's one thing I think I've impressed on you guys at this point is that if you see old Charlton, if you see 50s Charlton and you think you might want it, buy it, because you might never see it again. This is an old Charlton. It's called Young Lovers, number 17. Not familiar with the title at all, but I can tell by the design, the font. It's clearly post-code, but I can tell it's pretty early. My guess is it's from 56. It could be 57, but I think it might be 56. Saw that, and I was like, oh, mid-50s Charlton romance? I'm buying it. Girls Love Stories 146. I dig this cover a lot. It's a very clean design. I just like it a lot. Girls Romance is 74. I think it's a Romita cover. I think so. A lot of these romance covers have photos of people. Girls Romances 99. Here's another trope. It's actors that get too into the love scenes. Happens all the time, particularly in the Charlton series, Hollywood Romances. Every cover's like this, but here it is on Girls Romances. Number 99. My Romantic Adventure, number 116. Not mine, it's the I'm getting quite a few of these. You know, this is a series, I buy it whenever I see it. I didn't even look at my checklist. I should have really made sure I didn't have it. But it's a solid copy for $5.75. And so I kind of, doesn't really matter if I already have it. It's almost a must buy. But I'm starting to actually amass a fair collection of this series. I love the logo. I love the title. I love ACG. And I'm gonna have to take a look. I think I've got 25 or 30 issues of this series now. Falling in Love, number 110. Here's a great cover. This copy's not in great condition, but it's Falling in Love, number 103. I could have sworn I had this already. It's possible I just got a double of this because my checklist wasn't updated. Because I could have sworn I already had this. But my checklist said otherwise, so I bought it. Girls Love Stories 92. Great, great cover. There's a couple in the extreme foreground embracing, and you see the guy. I've come back too late. What a great cover. Huh? Girls Love Stories 135. Here's another one I thought I had. It's a John Rosenberger tennis cover during the era of the extreme close-up covers. I love the designs on these as well. I swear I had this. I think I might have messed up my checklist and not updated it. But again, I mean, it was $6. And it's, you know, this is a solid copy. It's probably a 5, maybe a 4.5, but it's a nice solid copy. So whatever. But yeah, I'm gonna be doing some work on my checklist. Girls Love Stories 138. Again, we get the era of the extreme close-up. We got the lozenge logo. You know how much I love lozenge logos. So all those cool romance. Huge block of Life with Archie. Completed my Conan run. Early Charlton. We got a ACG, right? Cool, right? But wait. Are you ready for this? Pawing through one of the bins. Not even the ACG bin, but one of these random bins. It's low grade, but I've already put it in a Mylar, so you know it's cool. It is classic, infamous cover, Adventures into the Unknown, number 58, with the famous robot banging a train cover. Now, they did this thing for a while when 3D was really popular. The ACG did this thing called True Vision, and they basically have this black, the interior pages are just like this. They're black, and each of the panels has these frames that are done with this great sort of like moody, distant artwork that's like a matte painting in the background, and then in the foreground are the figures that are done in bright colors and the popping like out of the frames and stuff. So the idea was it would give you the illusion of being in 3D without having to use 3D glasses. I think these are super cool, but this one is highly desirable because of this classic robot cover. Now, this is low grade copy. It's got a tear here that's not just the cover. That tear runs through the entire book. It's only about, it's about 3/4 of an inch. It's got a spine split here at the bottom as well. It's got some stuff up here. Grade wise, I don't know. I still want to call it a 3 even with the tear through the book. It's also got, it's very subtle. It took me a while to notice it. But in the artwork in the background, some kids stamped a tank on it. Once you notice it, it's more noticeable. But actually, it kind of just blends into the background, so I don't think it's a big deal. And considering the other defects, I don't think it changed the grade. I think technically it's probably a 2.5 because of the tear. I still want to call it a 3. But I'm so excited to get this. It's not a comic that I was looking for. I don't collect this title, but it's a cover that, of course, most people, they see this and like, oh, that's that's a cover. That's a cover. And anyway, I paid $40 for it. I think in this condition, it's really hard to judge. I think it's worth somewhere between 200 and 250 in this condition, closer to 250 probably. Hard to say. I definitely wouldn't let it go for under 200. And I think I would need a little bit more. 240, 230, 240 feels about right for me on the price. So I got a really, really great deal. I dropped over $200 on this huge pile of awesome comics here, but this one is actually worth just about exactly as much as I paid for the whole lot. So, good day at the comic book store. I have considered already, I'm thinking like, should I sell this to pay for everything else I bought? That would be the prudent thing to do. But it's so cool. I really just want to keep it in my collection for a while. So I think this is going to go in my box of cool books. And if I really need the money at some point, then I can sell it. But for now, I think this is going to be a keeper. I think this is going to my permanent collection. It's just so cool. So can't stress enough, if you're in the area, Waltham, Mass, very easy to get to. It's right on Moody Street, which is one of the main streets, and Waltham, it's right at basically at the corner of 495. At the corner of 95 and the Pike and 90. So it's very easy to get to. It's right off of the highway, and they have everything. Like, they have everything. When you come in the door, there's a rack of treasury books with like 50 different treasury books from the 70s. That's the first thing when you come in. And then they've got everything. Like, every genre, golden age stuff out the yin yang, reasonably priced. Whatever you're looking for, particularly if you're looking for the more obscure things. A lot of comic stores do go there, sure. If you want issues of Fantastic Four or X-Men or something, they're going to have those. But if, again, you want looking for a long box of treasure chests, you're probably not going to find it anywhere else. So this is the place you want to go. Again, I think definitely one of the top 10 comic stores in the state. Maybe top 5. We'll wait and see till I've gotten to all the rest of them. I would put it up there with That's Entertainment. That's Entertainment's still my number 1. But wait till I get to Super World, and then we're gonna have to start showing you some stuff. But that's in the future. For now, I'm just so excited to get these comics, and great haul, great mega haul right here. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.